This article says, for China, Islam is a mental illness that needs to be cured. That is very interesting, but that is China for you. China doesn't mince words, and they didn't in this situation. There is a reason why China, despite being the second most populated country in the entire world, with a population of over 1.4 billion people, yet has only 17 to 25 million Muslims. That is less than 2% of the population. Today, when we look at the map, we see China's 5 neighboring countries in the west with Muslim majorities. We see Pakistan, we see Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan. These countries are China's neighbors. They share borders with China. They are overwhelmingly Muslim populated. Yet, China, being the more populated, has fewer Muslims, less than 2%. But Afghanistan has 99.8% Muslim majority. Why? What did China know that other countries doesn't? What is China doing that other countries aren't? Why don't we see the religion of peace practitioners obstructing the streets in China during their prayers? Why don't we see them making outrage videos because they couldn't find halal foods? Why don't Chinese citizens get woken up by 5 a.m. in the morning by loud blastings from loudspeakers? You see, China is one of those countries that I do not necessarily agree with most of the times, but sometimes I see why they do what they do. China believes that state must come first. Therefore, leaders see tight control of religion as part of maintaining unity among 1.4 billion people. To them, even small groups that operate outside of government oversight can become political movements, and that is what they are trying to avoid. You can disagree with the methods. I do most of the times, but the reasoning is about preventing chaos, not promoting faith or suppressing it. Few days ago, I came across a podcast that really caught my attention, guys. It was talking about how China is handling Islam inside its borders. The discussion touched on some real interesting issues, and I would like you guys to take a look at it with me. The thumbnail says, How China Crushes Islam. It is phrased as a question, but let us quickly take a look at what they are talking about. Take a look.
How do they do that with Islam, with in Xinjiang province and the others, where there are Muslims out there, and that has to be taught in Arabic, right?
Ruthless. In fact, they're not allowed to do fasting, during Ramadan. Can you imagine? You're not allowed to name your children like Muhammad and, all the classic Muslim names. Anything associated with Islam. You can give secular names. And party officials are forced to eat. Also, during our Sagadawa, which is like Buddha Jayanti month, we do fasting. All the party officials, you're forced to attend your office, sit down together during lunch, and you are forced to eat. That controlling. So that's why there was a huge protest. It continues to have protests in Xinjiang. That's why the Chinese government found it so unbearable that they put around 2 to 3 million people in quote unquote concentration camps. Essential labor camps. They don't allow you to practice.
Where are the humanitarian agencies around the world? How come there's no protest? There's no talk about this? I believe even the mosques, they're not allowed to have the green, the mosque, what makes them look like a mosque. It's just a normal building.
Normal building, not just that, they destroy. They come with some excuses, you have violated this rules, that rules, municipality rules. They just demolish.
I want to remind you, my beautiful people, that China has studied the religion of peace very intensely, and they have understood that there is no bargaining with a group of people who have threatened to dominate you and rule over your people. A group of people who have said time and time again that the number one goal is to spread their practice all over the world. They believe that their God is the one true God and that they will establish a caliphate for their practice in the entire corner of the universe. So China knows that there is no middle ground with these people. They know that there is no compromising, because that would mean accommodating an ideology that threatens to annihilate their very nation. I must say that this is about the only time I have admired the Chinese government. And yes, I am being very serious right now. I think I am in love right now, in love with China, because my friends, they have the bull by the horn. They are not excusing this nonsense. They are not letting it slide either. They are crushing it with all the power and the seriousness it deserves. All those other countries who decided to be politically correct in this issue, who decided to pander, are paying the price now. The religion of peace practitioners are more crafty than you think. They are more crafty than you can ever imagine. They would use your laws against you and they will play your games, but only when they are in the minority. They are exploiting those laws of yours in places like Canada, the UK, Italy, France, Germany, you name it. In fact, the entire West, okay? They chant death to your country and they tell you how horrible your fate will be when they finally outbreed and outnumber you. And when you call them out, they quote your own laws against you. Oh, I'm just exercising my rights to freedom of speech. When they name your Western streets after a Hezbollah and Hamas supporter and you call them out for it, they will call you a racist and a bigot and tell you that you are not welcome in your own Western city. When they destroy your eardrums with their calls to prayer and you complain about it, they will call you a racist and tell you that you are infringing on their rights to freedom of religion. China have learned from the mistakes of other nations and they have realized that the only way to win this war is to tackle it head on. Be intolerant to the dangerous ideology. Do not pretend like you don't see the problems these people generate and crush it entirely. China took a look at Indonesia and said, no way am I becoming like them. Indonesia, before being overtaken by Islam, used to be Hindu, Buddhist, and animist country. But today, it is the world's largest Muslim majority country. Bangladesh, before Islam, used to be Hindu and Buddhist Bengal under the Pala dynasty. But starting from the 13th century, Sufi preachers and Muslim rulers from Delhi introduced Islam and it became dominant under Bengal Sultanate rule. And now, Bangladesh is 90% Muslim. It is now a Muslim country. The same goes for Pakistan and Afghanistan, Iran, Egypt, Turkey, Albania, Bosnia, Sudan, you name it. China is avoiding ending up like one of these countries, and they are doing that so effectively. China's core principle is cultural sovereignty. No ideology, religious, political, or corporate should dominate Chinese life except Chinese law. That doesn't mean hating outsiders. It means refusing to be remade in someone else's image. You don't have to like China's methods to see why they exist. China is a country that values survival over sympathy. I think many countries around the world, especially the West, should tear a page out of China's secret recipe in combating the Islamization problem. Maybe don't copy the entire book, okay, because it can be somehow dangerous, but just copy a few pages. So instead of re-education camps, which many people label as concentration camps in China, when in fact these are just re-education centers, where those radical Muslims are being re-educated on the sovereignty of Chinese laws and the need to abide by them. So maybe instead of sending anybody to such institutions or such centers in the first place, just ship them to any of the 57 Muslim countries around the world where they can go and then practice their religion, no matter how crazy they want to practice it. Just send them over there so that people will not accuse you of sending other people to concentration camps. But if they want to stay, then they must respect the laws of your land and assimilate. This is the time to take bold steps and make bold decisions, okay? If not for yourselves, then please do it for the love of your country. As always, guys, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, whether you're subscribed to the channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.